Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Jerome.
This is the case of Scott versus Holloway and Alexander.
Thank you. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Scott, you claim that you and the defendant, Mr. Holloway, were overjoyed when you gave birth to your twin sons just last month. However, you say those joyous emotions quickly turned to shock when Mr. Holloway then began denying paternity of another one of your children, 1-year-old Jaden. Mr. Holloway, you and your mother say that although you are the father of her newborn twins, you believe Ms. Scott cheated on you, and thus her older son, Jaden, is not your biological child. And the man you believe is the father, Mr. Alexander, has also been tested, and we will hear from him in a moment. But first, Mr. Holloway, why did you suddenly begin to deny Jaden after the birth of your twins?
Because when me and Ms. Scott were in a relationship, she has kept in contact with Mr. Alexander the whole time throughout both pregnancies.
Really?
Throughout her pregnancy the first time, she's contacted him through Facebook, text messages, phone calls, and...
Really? So have you been contacting this man continuously, Ms. Scott?
No, I have not.
And so how did this situation go in your estimation?
Because me and Mr. Alexander, we're just friends. We did, mess around like years ago, and he's been my friend about as long as I've known Mr. Holloway.
Okay.
And around the time that my son Jaden was conceived, I had no contact with him, and we haven't even been in a relationship. He won't even commit to me. He's left me multiple times for other women and committed to them. And I feel like I deserve that too, because I had your babies. It is true.
It's not true.
It's not?
Sarah.
Okay,
that's
it is.
That's not true, Your Honor. Your Honor, that's not true.
All right, so you were sleeping with someone else.
When we fell out, it was like an off and on relationship, but me and Mr. Holloway were never like boyfriend and girlfriend, holding hands, going to the movies, and all that.
But you wanted that commitment.
I did.
Yeah, she did.
Your Honor, that doesn't matter. We were still sleeping together throughout this whole time.
Yeah.
And in order to be in this courtroom today with a question of paternity, you obviously were sleeping with someone else as well.
Not at
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was. Yes, she was.
Not at the same time I was sleeping with Mr. Holloway. Like I said, he had left me before, and when we weren't talking, like the whole year of 2012, we weren't talking, I did see other people. But around the time that Jaden was conceived, I was not sleeping with Mr. Alexander.
All right, so Mr. Holloway, why are you so convinced that Mr. Alexander is the father of the child?
Because before all this even started, in 2012 of October, from the week of the 22nd of October to the 27th of October, 2012, me and Ms. Scott were together. She admitted to me during that week before that, her and Mr. Alexander have been in communication, hanging out.
Had been intimate.
Had been intimate, yes.
No.
See?
No.
She admitted to me that she was going around where he was, and they were together at certain times of that year. So when she got pregnant in 2012, I ended up living with her at her grandmother's house and staying with her throughout the whole pregnancy.
Going to every doctor's appointment.
Oh, yeah.
Helped me out with my grandma. Being
So you all
loyal.
were together at this time?
At that time,
At this
yes,
time,
we were.
yes, we were.
Supporting her through the birth?
Yes.
Did you have any idea at that time the close proximity in which you claim she slept with Mr. Alexander?
At that point in time, I didn't have a feeling. I just knew that they had been together before me.
So why did you sign
you
the
had
birth
no-
certificate then?
Because the friends.
Why did you sign
the birth
certificate?
Because of the friends. Because she was the one telling the friends about what was going on in her life with this guy. And then when the friend decided she wanted to tell my son that...
That we hung out.
See? Same thing.
See, the thing is...
Same thing.
So hold
Your Honor.
on.
That's not sleeping
Yeah.
together and hanging out is two different things.
So she
We've
told
been
her
friends.
friend.
So
She told her friend that she had intimate sex with that guy, and the friend is the one she had to wait
He
until.
said, she said, that's not what happened.
Well, you the one told her.
No, I didn't
You the
tell
one
her that.
told the friend.
So Ms.
I didn't
Neal,
tell
and
her
the friend
that.
so Ms.
told it.
Neal, it's your testimony that Ms. Scott was telling some of her friends that she was having sex with Mr. Alexander.
or she was hanging out with him, but the friend waited until
But you guys
she
just said out that
had to,
okay.
whatever she was
story
drinking or
straight.
whatever, that's when the friend decided to say it. But when I come around, they don't want me to know anything.
That's because you need to stay out of our business.
See, that's
He's a
it.
grown
I'm gonna
man.
be in the business.
He's a grown man.
I'm gonna be
But
in the
he's
business because
grown.
this is my child.
Yeah, your child is about to be 26 years
So
old.
what-
He's
what
not a
you got to
baby.
do with it?
He's not a baby anymore.
So he's mine, not
Not
yours.
a baby.
So that's the only thing with that. That's why she have a problem like she does now.
Yeah,
this
'cause
is why
you're
nobody
always-
don't
you
want to
always
help her.
disrespect me. You
in
never
the
liked
first
me
place.
from day one.
Yeah, I have helped you.
No, you have not. I
I
didn't say
have helped you.
I said liked. You ain't never liked me.
Whatever. You
talk
ain't
about
never liked
to
me.
Everybody. I sure don't.
Good. I don't care, but you lived in my house.
Yeah, and I said thank you. And after I
No,
left your
that-
house,
no, you didn't.
You're talking about me, saying
Yes,
that my
I'm gonna
son
talk about
looks
you and I'm
like
gonna let you
Hakeem.
know.
You
Yeah,
should
I'm
have.
gonna
Okay,
let
you
you
should have
know.
said that when I was at your house then.
I was hoping that you two needed to just get that out so we could
Yeah,
get down to the business of uncovering the truth.
Okay, I'm
But
sorry.
I can see
We
there's
can
no
move on.
ending. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Holloway, you were in her life, helping her while she was pregnant and being there
Correct.
during her pregnancy.
Yes, Your Honor.
What about the birth?
Well, at birth, I was there too. So at birth, I signed the paternity acknowledgement because at that point in time, I felt that he was my son. Then, around December 2013, Christmas, she had posted a picture of Jaden. Matter of fact, that same picture,
He looks like me.
she posted
We
that
know that.
picture
That's
on
my
Facebook,
mini-me.
and before I even saw that picture,
rude she
I had
is?
saw Mr. Alexander in 2012, which was the last time I saw him face to face. And when I seen this picture, he looked just like Mr. Alexander. So that's when I began
And
to
I
have
have
doubts.
a picture too, Your Honor, of it that my son texted to me of him with Jaden and asked me to be the judge.
I think another.
Let me see that, ma'am. Jerome, will you please hand me her evidence? Thank you. So you say your son sent you this picture.
Yes, ma'am.
I made that picture on my phone.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
put this picture on your phone, and
it
underneath
to
the
me.
picture of Jaden is a picture of you
my son
on
Arthur.
the left and Mr. Alexander on the right.
Yeah, and I never seen the guy before. I never seen him before.
So, Ms. Neal, who do you think the baby looks like?
I know it don't look like my son.
You look like me.
Right, look like you. There he is. Still looks just like the one that you had up before.
What are your tears for? You just see your baby? What do you feel, Miss Scott?
I just feel like it's not fair, you know?
What's not fair?
You're in his life for a whole year, coming over, spending the night,
But you're wrong.
You know
and
what
now what do you have to say?
I got a whole lot to say because if it's not, I still want to see the baby. You be denying me from it.
How do I do that?
You know exactly how
How do I do that? What,
'Cause
you
you
mad
tell
about the
me.
birthday party? That wasn't my place to invite you. You could have came. Matter of fact, I heard
Oh.
you was on your way. You didn't even show up.
No, I
That's
didn't.
not my place to invite you. And
Why?
me and you weren't
How come
even
it's
on
not your place? You the
me and
mother?
You weren't even speaking at the time.
See what I'm saying? That's exactly
So
right.
now,
Yeah.
We weren't even
Listen.
speaking. He
Yeah.
could have invited his mom.
explain to me what's going on. There was a birthday party.
Yeah.
What happened, Miss Neal?
She sent it out on Facebook to everybody. Any other time, Your Honor, she'll call me
An invitation to what?
to the baby's first birthday.
Yeah, but me
Was
and her,
posted on Facebook.
Yes.
But were you invited?
No, ma'am.
No invitation to her.
No, ma'am.
When you didn't get an invitation to the party, why didn't you think they wanted you around? Because
I never said he was gonna
Because
come.
what happened, Your Honor, was the day before his birthday is when her mom had posted something on Facebook, and I commented on it. So they both really was, especially
wasn't the day
her,
before.
They really she wanted to like really beat me up if she'd have seen me.
Because you,
Why?
No, I didn't say I was
Because
gonna beat
of-
her up.
Because
I
of
just
what
feel like
I posted
she's just so
on her mom's,
disrespectful. And for her to message
her
my
status.
mom.
what did you post on her mom's status?
Well, I was just telling her mom, it's like, you know, you putting up this about your daughter, but, you know, you being dumb in the process because your daughter had all this information, to help her, and she didn't even do it. She had it right there in her
You don't
hands.
know what I
and still
do,
didn't do
'cause I don't
nothing
talk
about
to
it,
you. You
and
don't
she
do
still
what I
ain't
do.
doing nothing about it.
You don't know
All
what
the
I do.
information to help her.
Yes.
Basically,
So she can get her
myself,
own place to be with these kids.
my mother and
Okay.
friends are trying to help her to get her life straight, to get a place.
So this has nothing to do with Jaden's paternity.
Thank you.
This is another issue that you all were dealing with.
Well,
that was
this was
between
to
them.
help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you weren't invited to the birthday party. So once you weren't invited to the birthday party, did you feel like, well, that really isn't my grandson because I would have got an invitation?
No, ma'am. I just said, she's been acting like ever since this baby been born, because when I went to the hospital to see the baby, and she telling people in the hospital, like, he's not finna be passed around like a trophy, because I know that she meant she didn't want me to
No,
hold the baby.
actually, I meant, did you see how many people was there? How many friends I had there? It wasn't even about you. Why you make this about you? It's about Jaden.
It ain't about me. It ain't about me.
So quit
It's
talking
always
about
been about
yourself.
Jaden.
Anyway,
You the one that know nothing about it. It's
I'm
about
done talking to
Jaden.
you.
Until
I'm
now,
done talking
Your
to
Honor.
you.
She ain't know nothing about it was about Jaden, because if she
It is
did,
about
So
Jaden.
she
Ms.
would've
Scott,
never
in the
took this-
hospital, Ms. Neal is saying she
In
felt
the-
like you didn't want her to hold the baby.
No,
You're
that's
saying
not
that's not
true.
the case.
In the hospital, I had like maybe 10 friends
It
that
wasn't that
came,
many people.
and he was getting passed around, being held. It wasn't her. She left that day. She came the next day. So what are you talking about?
Yeah,
She was
I
there
was
that
there
day.
because
She
I
was
took
there.
sick, and
She
then I
left
left
before I
because
even gave
she
birth.
She hadn't even gave birth then.
So hold on. So the bottom line is, your point was, it's not that I don't want you to hold the baby. It's because it's a
I
new
said
baby.
that about all my friends.
Yeah, it's a new baby. I just don't want them to pass the baby around. There could be germs.
And I
That's
just
what you
feel
meant.
like, why are you saying that here? You
Okay,
never
but the
mentioned
bottom
that.
line is they were present during this birth.
Arthur was.
He was.
You were there.
Cut the cord, but I wasn't, because I
And you
took
signed the
sick.
acknowledgement of paternity.
Yes, I did.
So now you think you've had a baby,
Yes.
a beautiful baby boy.
Yes.
At what point does the doubt set in?
The doubt set in when I saw this picture, and I know for a fact that Miss Scott and Mr. Alexander keep in contact. They've kept in
We are
contact.
friends. That's like one of my best friends.
That they had a
While
sexual
I was
relationship
pregnant-
with, though.
While I was pregnant, no, I haven't. That was years ago.
This is not years
and
ago,
And while
Your
I was
Honor.
pregnant with Jaden, he had like offered to even buy my son some shoes. Just being a friend.
You're right.
He's not trying to take charge and be his daddy.
Right. But if this was one of my
So-
female friends, it'd have been my girlfriend trying to do this, in her words.
So, Mr. Holloway, you think
Well, you
the
left me
baby,
before.
you think the baby looks just like Mr. Alexander?
Just like Mr. Alexander.
All right. Well, I'm ready to meet Mr. Alexander. Jerome,
Oh, that's right.
can you bring him in, please?
Oh, that's right.
What's your step?
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Thank you for joining us today. So, Mr. Alexander, you realize we're here discussing the issues that relate to Jaden's paternity.
Right.
Now, let me just start off by saying this. You have been in a sexual relationship before with Miss Scott.
Right.
You have.
Yeah.
And she admits to that as well.
Right.
Now, do you think Jaden looks like you?
No.
You don't?
No. I think he looks like her.
You think he looks like his mom?
Looks like his mom.
But nothing like you.
No.
And so why don't you believe you could be Jaden's father?
Because the last time we had sex was like 2009, 2010.
Oh, come on. Come on, guy.
That's definitely outside the window of conception. But Mr. Holloway,
You need to get to tell me.
you did not blink an eye when he said that. You don't believe that?
I don't believe that. They've kept in contact since her first pregnancy when she was pregnant with Jaden. They've been talking the whole
Okay,
time.
we talked a
all the
couple
way,
times,
all the
so
way until
what?
now. But when I ask her, are you talking to him? She denies that.
Actually, I told you.
You only told me about a couple times.
Okay, but you act like we're just buddy kicking it,
But
going
when
to
I
the
asked
movies,
you,
going out
but when
to
I
eat.
asked you, you deny it. You say you don't talk to him at all. You're not even friends on Facebook. But I go
We're
on your
not
friends
friends
list.
on Facebook.
But I go on your friends list. You guys are friends though.
We're not friends on Facebook.
You just deleted him before you left my mom's house off Facebook though. You were friends with him
So
then?
hold on. Mr. Alexander, I need to be clear of something. Were you in Miss Scott's life at all during the window of conception? Were you friends hanging out, as she says?
No.
You weren't?
I hadn't talked to her in like 2.5 years.
So you weren't even around.
No.
And so you're saying Mr. Alexander couldn't be the father, but you did say you were dating other people.
But not around the time of conception, though.
Whew. All right, well, the only way we're gonna find out the truth is to go to the results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Scott versus Holloway Alexander, as it pertains to whether Mr. Alexander or Mr. Holloway is the father of 1-year-old Jaden Holloway, Mr. Alexander, you are not his father.
Yes.
Mr. Holloway, you are his father.
Yes. Yes. So judge,
Thank you.
she's gonna keep denying me. And I don't like it. And I know she's gonna keep it because she's so hateful and mean.
Now, this is just too much.
I know.
There is going to be no winning with this type of attitude. Now, you all know Mr. Holloway is Jaden's biological father. You all can make this thing better. Now, you got Mr. Holloway standing in the middle. He barely has anything to say. Mr. Holloway, you're going to have to step up. You're going to have to, no.
Yeah.
Now, you somebody's father. Your child is counting on you. You also have twins.
I have 3 sons,
You do.
the twins and him.
Perfect. So now, you got to step up and show them what men do. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Neither
Court
one.
is adjourned.
Okay.